Next we have the religion screen, which is kind of different because back in those days religion was much more important than it is in Europe today. People believed that omens meant something. They believed you could sacrifice to the gods and get benefits. And that's something we represent in this game. You can see what kind of religions are existing and what power they have. You can also select an omen to invoke. This is the short-term benefits you get for your country. The different omens are depending on which country type you're playing. So if you're playing a Roman, you get all these like blessing of Mars or son of Jupiter you can invoke. So we'll just invoke son of Jupiter and let's hope the gods are with us today. Yes, we've invoked it and we get the benefit. Of course, an omen could have failed. The gods could hate you and it could go all bad. And then you would get a short-term penalty instead. Next screen is the military screen where you can see all your armies, who's commanding them. We haven't assigned any armies here. You can also list all your fleets and see how good they are. And also define how much you want to pay your troops. If you pay them less, of course they will fight worse. But sometimes you don't have the money. Also we have the technology screen here, where you can assign various characters to do technology research. But just because you're researching something doesn't mean you actually get any benefits. Because the benefits you get from technology research are depending on the amount of citizens you have in your country, because this isn't the era where you had big technological projects. Discoveries were made randomly by individuals, and so it happens in Rome as well. And the final one is the dynasty one. Here you can see the current ruler, Caesar. As we're starting right here, when he has become taken control of Rome, he has lots of friends and lots of enemies. So you can see all the friends he has. You can see his current wife, his mother and his father, kind of similar look to him because they share DNA. You can also see his current stats. He has a trait called tactician. Caesar is kind of good at everything. They're really popular, kind of loyal, not too corrupt, very rich, and a Roman. One important aspect here is that when you're playing a republic, the current ruler does not rule forever. Every second year at Ides of March, which is the 15th of March, they elect a new consul in a republic. So then the currently most popular guy will become the new consul. And when you play in a republic, you will not have control over anyone else than the current consul. So the other guys in the republic can become popular and be elected in the next time. And then the family you're grooming may not be the one in power. Usually in a strategy game, when you conquer most of the world or the universe or whatever, you have won the game. There's no more challenge. It's only mopping up what's left. What's kind of unique here in Rome is that outside the borders of the civilized world, there's barbarians. Barbarians can appear as a horde, start moving towards richer provinces. They may settle somewhere, defeat another minor nation, but they usually go to plunder and take down what's rich. When you see a barbarian horde, you can deal with it in several ways. One way is to send out your legions and crush them and defeat them, which is one thing, but that may be very expensive and not guaranteed to defeat them. Or you could have negotiate with them and send out, bribe them off to go somewhere else, allow them to settle somewhere, or even create a client kingdom of the barbarians somewhere in your territory. One thing you can see here is that this is a Roman province. We have a small little building here indicating civilization value, which is at 50%. But just across the border here in the uncivilized Alps, we have the barbarian horde, and it's very uncivilized, only 25% civilization. So, and they have barbarians there that can grow up, create a horde, and start marching into Rome. If you go further up into Germany, you have even less civilization the further you go up. We also have interfaces, so you can always access your armies up here by just clicking on the interface to the left. There will be statistic pages where you can see like dozens of different pages to see like every character in your realm, all the statistics you have, etc. You can also build new troops and build buildings. So if you Just gonna deselect that one. Like you can see all the types of buildings you can build in a province. Then just select which province to build and give orders like that. The same with military units. Of course, everything is like the queued system for military buildings and everywhere. You can easily manipulate exactly where you want to build anything. We actually have a pretty advanced civil war thing with lots of historical, or like lots of events that start civil wars, that makes splits the country, parts defect to other things, and that both parts of the country work like entities that can negotiate with others, but they're still in a complete total war against each other, because they can never peace out until they have defeated the other civil war faction. So and there's plenty of advances that simulates the civil wars. Of course, it's not just Rome that can descend into a civil war, but any country can do that, even a small Celtic tribe. The combat system is similar to our previous games. So basically, it's a real-time game, so we can't pause and play a battle. You may have multiple battles at several occasions. Okay, basically what you get is that two things. Up here in the left, you'll see on the right actually, left and right, yeah, right. There's a small, you can't see it, but there's a land combat at the bottom where you see like red and green numbers. That indicates there's a battle somewhere. In the province here in Rome, we see soldiers now not just standing around, but actually fighting. Okay, the position kind of inside each other. And that battle will go on until one side has won, or you can retreat. If I select these units, I get a quick overview of the battle, where I can see the regiments, how they are aligned, the different types, where they are, who's the commander at various sides. We don't have a commander because I hadn't assigned one, and the rebels didn't have one. What kind of troops we have on different types, and you'll see them firing at each other. We have a pretty advanced combat engine below it, where you have like different type of troops are good at different others. There's morale, there's organization, there's strength.